This is a chess sub battle that I joined into yesterday with Blitz time control of 3 minutes and 2-second increment. Increment game means that after each move, players would gain 2 seconds on the clock. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
Barney!
Because
I am not
my
drunk!
guy for Ward 2 isn't here, so
I'm not
she's up soon.
Stephanie, you drunk? Stephanie.
Yeah, Ward 3 is ready.
Hi, Regina. No, but now that you mention it.
We do have wine.
Oh no.
For during stream or after stream, up to you.
Alright, Barney, let's go. I want to follow Barney.
Alright, Barney. He's good.
I am very much struggling to use chess. Hey, Cat, thank you
Cat,
so
thank you.
much!
Thank you. Alright, Barney. Let's go.
Barney.
Be as good at chess as you are at Among Us.
Alright, we're gonna look at from Barney's point the winner POV.
Wait, I actually got somebody for 2200 last minute, so
Oh,
if you
yeah?
don't want to. So I'll just write in. What's there?
Okay.
So then Steven, actually?
But, like, Barney's already, like, all ready and everything.
He can get unready.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
okay.
Because, like, I also had, you know, problem finding. So, like, if these things happen, it's sub battles. Just chaos.
Yeah. They're like, I'm ready to go, and then you like get there, and it's just like cricket silence.
Barney, I know what you mean.
Chicken, yeah.
Chicken, obviously.
I like chicken.
I like steak better.
Fair.
You know, we went to the mall line
Fair
for
food
Chick-fil-A was so long.
That is unsurprising to me.
It's overrated.
That bad opinion.
Okay, we're gonna have to press that end stream button. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Hannah, what country are you from? I don't actually know.
I'm from Australia.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. I don't have like the typical Aussie accent, but yes.
You got a great accent. It's.
Oh, well, thank you. You have a great accent too.
Wait, this is scuffed.
Thanks.
Where is it? It's scuffed.
Do they have Chick-fil-A in Australia?
Chick-fil-A? No.
Okay.
When I was in America, I tried it and it was amazing.
All right, let's go, Barney.
Yes. All right.
Good opinion.
They
Love to hear
were
it.
so good. I wish we had it here. We have kind of like just boring takeaway here.
Oh, they're playing. Barney and Dervish.
Wait, they're playing?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
They're playing. You should follow.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, let's
Okay,
go.
this is.
Alright, we got ourselves some kind
A London
of...
system versus a King's Indian.
Yeah, but it's a London with a bishop on nuts, so I don't even know what that's called.
No, you're supposed to put it on E2 against the King's Indian. 'Cause
Yeah, but
London-
if I was saying a London, like, usually you think London, they bring
Oh,
bishop
Kali.
on board.
Yeah,
So it's some
exactly.
kind of... It's some kind of chess position.
Yeah.
Some,
Oh, E4. Good decision. Oh, but trading.
Ooh.
I think E4 and D5 make it.
Yeah, I think so too. Trading is interesting.
Whoa, wait, what? Is this a thing?
Rook takes.
Yeah,
I
would
think-
you
yeah,
have thought white shouldn't trade because, like, it
Yeah.
releases the tension?
But I also think
This
black
is
should have
fun.
Pro
taken...
streamer.
I think black should have taken with a pawn. Now white still has a good chance to control the center. And what's black gonna do with that light square bishop? That's gonna be their problem piece.
Yeah. Barney's got a bit more space,
Black's-
more time.
Dervish
Black
is
doesn't know what to
taking
do here.
his time. Yeah,
His
he's
rook, it probably should not be out that far.
Yeah, he might just drop it back to like e8 or something because, I mean, there's not a whole lot of productive things to do, and just getting that rook out of dodge might be a good idea.
Hannah, what do you play as black against D4?
I just play D5 or sometimes King's Indian.
Solid. Okay. F3. Ooh. I don't know if I like that.
The
Do I like
bishop,
that? I
like
don't like
F-
that. D5 now for black, potentially.
Yeah.
Wait, I want bishop f4 at some point. So.
D5, bishop
Just
f4.
rook d1. Okay, wait, what does a6
Yeah,
do?
bishop
okay,
f4, and now
very
after
logical.
rook d1, now I think a6 had to be slow.
Yeah, that D6 pawn's going to be a big weakness now. Barney's going to go rook D1, maybe queen D2, or double the rooks on the D file.
Yeah,
And
really attack that
pushing the
pawn.
pawn up to c6 made the d6 pawn weak. So
Yeah. Might even be
let's
some
go.
kind
Okay,
of,
ooh, that rook, interesting.
C5.
Black is it? Okay,
Ooh, see, I
E5,
thought
E5,
C5 was strong.
E5.
yeah, trading
No,
on b5.
E5. I was thinking.
Well, yeah, c5 or e5 would have been better. Trading on b5 there by Barney was not right.
Yeah.
And then a3, very reactionary, if that's the term. He's responding a lot.
Yeah.
E5 here I don't think is good because of knight h5.
Yeah, I missed that. Oh, but maybe just rook d2 and pile up on
Yeah,
the
I think rook
d6 pawn.
d2 is a very responsible, good move.
Well, I mean, there is increment.
Bishop
Ooh.
g3 to
Yeah.
to f2.
I like what Dervish is doing here, though. I think he's better.
Oh no, but I think Barney's bishops are solid.
You know what Barney's doing? He's playing the clock.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
playing the clock. 3
He's
minutes to
doing the-
under 1.
He's doing the marichess.
No! Why did you push me?
No, because I didn't want you to shout because I feel like
They're not stream sniping.
yeah, I don't know.
These are respectable viewers of
I
the
know
Twitch
it's
channel.
just that I like got worried when you shouted that you were gonna like make him see it or something, so I panicked.
Okay. Yeah, that was a big
This
mess
sucks.
up.
Barney, you done hecked up.
Barney's got to do some more
Barney.
puzzle rush.
Gary Dervish.
Yeah, Dervish. I mean, Barney had a good position out of the opening, but then just didn't do anything with it. And
Yeah.
Dervish played some nice moves there, maneuvering the knight into f4, bringing the queen to
Yeah.
g5. That was a good plan. And now Black's surely gonna win, right?
I don't know. I mean, the only
Dervish
thing
is
that
very
could
well
get him is
on
the
track
clock. You
Like,
know?
he shouldn't flag because it's
The
increment.
question is, what is Dervish's bullet rating? Ah, we need
Wait,
to do
we
some
need to-
investigating.
yeah.
Let's-
okay,
let's-
okay.
let's- Oh, it's 2100. So.
Oh, we're screwed.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like 1700. Like maybe we have a
Maybe
chance.
he
but-
could-
Yeah. Oh god,
Oh,
please
oh,
don't,
that's a
please
mate
don't,
thread.
please don't,
Yeah,
please don't,
you
please
gotta
don't
do
miss
something,
that,
Barney, you gotta-
Okay, well
Okay.
at least he stopped it. That's a solid.
He stopped it.
And then knight f1 to kick the queen out. Right?
Gosh.
Oh no, he's asking for the queen trade.
Oh no,
he
he's
knows
doing
the
a
strat.
based strat.
Yeah. Bishop, you can't give him the queen trade, Barney. Bishop
Yeah,
e2.
bishop b2, gotta be played.
That's ooh, he's
Ooh,
being
that's-
smart. Oh, you can take that.
Take it.
Take
Yes!
it.
Yes! Barney!
We won a pawn. Let's go.
He can't throw after that. Please.
Throw. Oh, he's throwing. He's gonna
Throw!
Our comeback is one pawn at a time.
One
Yeah.
pawn. Hey, chess is all about the pawns, you know?
That's right.
Because each pawn's a potential queen, so it's like
Knight e2. He's going knight f4 takes g6. I know Barney's plan. We're on the same way.
He's
oh, okay.
going to... he's gonna shut all the doors.
Releasing the tension and then asking for a queen trade. Barney.
Yeah,
Might as well just resign there.
Barney.
that was not the thing to do.
This makes it so much easier for Black with 14 seconds left.
Yeah.
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 Why trade the... Also, this bishop is so bad. It's like the worst bishop.
Yeah?
Well, let's
Rook.
show Twitch chat. You know, this triangle formation right here.
That's a triangle of...
This is the triangle of Lumpsy.
It's a llama. This is making sense.
Hard to explain
It's-
for
yeah, it's
another
difficult.
chat.
Yeah.
So we won't. Put some waters in the fridge.
Wait, I already put waters in the fridge though.
More waters.
So, how can Barney get a stalemate? That's the
Is
question.
that what we're resorting
If
to now?
Dervish stalemates from here, he's actually getting banned for life. He's getting banned for life.
Yeah, how can we like set up some kind of stalemate?
Okay. King h3. You gotta put your king in
Yeah,
front
got
of your own pawn.
Exactly.
Right? Yes.
King
Yes.
h3.
Okay.
Yes.
He actually is going for it. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
We're
wait,
one
wait,
pawn
no,
closer
this
to getting that stalemate. Let's go.
Yes. Okay.
Next part of the plan.
Yes.
Check.
Give it.
Okay.
Put the king in check.
Why is he running down all his time there? This is making me really nervous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 10 seconds
Wait, so actually all Barney has to do is sacrifice. Well, no, actually G4. Though. He has G4.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Okay, Josh. But like.
Yeah. All right, Barney, be tricky. Come on, just like move. You gotta pressure him on the clock. Confuse your opponent. Barney's playing this like a classical game and giving Black plenty of time to figure out how they want to win. Gotta move fast here, Barney.
Barney's playing
Don't,
like a dinosaur.
Rook
right
D7,
now.
Bishop D5.
Yeah, be
Rook-
tricky.
Yes!
Be tricky, Barney.
Oh, Barney's winning. Barney's winning. I'm calling it right now. Barney's gonna win this game now. Actually, though. Oh! Bishop
God
D.
damn it.
Bishop D3.
That's a fork.
That's a fork.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Oh!
Yes! Let's go!
Woo! Second one always better. Yeah. All right.
What was that?
That's for Steven. There's a hand in front of you.
I'm gonna steal.
All right. Cool. What are your hands? You're so greasy. All right.
Hey! You're embarrassing me on stream.
Yeah.
Yahoo account settings are out of date.
All right.
Oh my God.
Solid win, Barney.
Barney,
Good work.
we are
Good work.
proud of you.
The win was never in doubt.
Yep. Okay.
Oh my god, that's unbelievable.
Are you getting water or wine? Oh,
Okay,
neither.
Food.
Oh, but we just ate.
Okay.
So you're
I'm
not
getting
allowed
food.
you're not allowed to be hungry anymore.
I'm allowed to do whatever I want. This is America. I get the little plate though.
Dervish band.
Dervish fans. Yeah, I think that's fair. That is completely fair. Like
I have a
after
poll going right now. Should Dervish be banned? We have
It's tough with the
60 votes
stress
for
to
yes,
like, you know,
one
think
for no.
and
Yeah.
calculate.
Oh, but he doesn't even have to think and calculate. He just has to move.
Well, that requires thinking and calculating of at least one move.
What an absolute solid gameplay by White here with a stunning way to end the game with a bishop move, forking both rooks, and an astonishing -50 on the eval. I outlasted my opponent after making that huge blunder in the middle game, so I will run a quick analysis to see what happened during the game. So I played the Cole system against this kingside fianchetto structure. Usually against this King's Indian defense structure, you'd want to have 3 pawns in the center, c4, d4, and e4. But I did a stutter step on pawn to e3, just so I would know what my opponent's plans would be in the middle game. So as black, they have 2 options here. Either push the pawn to c5, having this modern defense pawn structure, or push the pawn to e5, having this King's Indian defense pawn structure. So I'd rather wait it out and play pawn to e3 instead of immediately pushing pawn to e4, just so I would know what my opponent's plans are. So after castling pawn to c4, knight c3, I eventually were able to push the pawns towards the center where I wanted to be. But the difference is that my opponent already played rook e8, committing his attack towards the center, eventually pushing the pawn to e5. So without that rook e8, black can still push pawn to c5 here, or pawn to e5. So I don't know yet. I'd rather wait it out, and that rook e8 move is just revealing what my opponent's plans would be. So the main line, King's Indian defense, is pawn to d5, and then black would play pawn to a5, and eventually playing knight to h5, and possibly pushing this pawn to f5, attacking this base pawn for white on e4. But I haven't had that much practice against the mainline King's Indian defense, therefore I decided to play the exchange variation on the e5, trading pawns and knights towards the center, and playing passively on the center and the king side. My plan here was to attack the queen side. However, my opponent initiated the pawn push on a6 b5, so my second plan is to play passively on the king side, play defensively, and once I stabilize everything, I can eventually push the pawn to a4 and b4. And here, after queen g5 is when I made the blunder of the game. I played knight e2 here, attacking this knight, targeting this g2 square for a checkmate threat. There's no immediate checkmate threat. There's already bishop f1 defending it. So I decided to kick it out immediately. So I'll go back one move and you can take a look at the board. And if you're playing white here, what would you do instead? What would be your continuation strategy here? I'll give you a few seconds to look at a few moves that you can possibly do instead of my blunder knight e2. So there are a couple of ways to deal with this attack on the g2 square. An acceptable move is king h1, just removing this king out of the g file, so there's no more knight h3 threat. So here, if black still plays knight h3, pawn can simply take on h3 and there's no more attack on the g file. That's the acceptable continuation, king h1, but the best move is actually pawn to g3. So black cannot play knight h3 anymore because the bishop is defending the h3 square. Also, the knight cannot stay there even though there's a pin on the g file, because the next move for white would be queen to d2, attacking this dark square and possibly winning a piece. So black has to move his knight back to h5, and white can attack this rook on e6, possibly targeting this weak d6 pawn. So if black decides to go back, white just wins a pawn on d6. And if black decides to stay in the third rank, defending this pawn on d6, there's this move for white, pawn to e5. And if black takes the pawn, there's the move knight e4, forking both the queen and the rook. So the best way for black to deal with this is just to go back and give up that pawn in the center. And that's the winning maneuver for white. Pawn to g3. But instead I blundered with knight to e3, and let's get back with the game. Knight to e3, I lost the piece here, and I typically resign on these games where I'm down by 5 points in material. However, I looked at the clock and there's 3 minutes and 7 seconds for white, and there's only 46 seconds for black. I have more than 3 minutes, more than the time that I started with, because the time control has 2-second increment on it. So each move, both players gain 2 seconds on the clock. So here I try to play defensively and survive as long as possible. There was a checkmate threat on g1, which I avoided, and just trading this down. I avoided the trade as much as possible, just so I have more time to move around and possibly force my opponent to make blunders. So here, my opponent has 10 seconds remaining, but then there are so many pieces on the board. There's no way my opponent would win this with this amount of time remaining, because in these types of endgames, it's really complicated and requires a lot of time to think. So for black, there are threats with rook b2, trying to pressure the h2 square, and possibly locking down these escape squares with bishop f6. This bishop is already locking down the g4, so here there's a possible checkmate threat for black, which is why I started spending time looking for good moves here. I didn't take that because I'd rather not exchange pieces, and then here I found this bishop fork, which took my opponent a bit of a time to think of a possible way to get out of it. So any move here actually wins for black. Even if they end up giving up this rook, they're still up by a pawn, and that should be a winning endgame for black. Or if they decide to connect the rooks and give up that rook for a bishop, it's still a winning endgame for black. So my opponent just played slowly, and I won the game on time. Big thanks to marichess for inviting me to this sub battle. I had a lot of fun playing on it, and also shout out to hannahsayce for commentating on the opposing team. Y'all can check their Twitch channels. Their link would be on the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see y'all next time. Peace out.